many of you have ever walked around, had an idea, and said, oh, I need to do that right away? And then something happens and you don't do it, and then you forget about it, right? And then you find yourself going, well, what was that I wanted to do? Gosh, what was that really good idea? What was that thing? And we end up forgetting. So I see some hearts, I see some emojis coming across. That leads me to believe that quite a few of you can relate to this. And that's why I encourage you to share what you're taking away from this. What's your moral of the story that you're going to extrapolate from what the little story I'm going to share here? Because that's really where learning transcends something, a concept, and it becomes part of who we are, our physiology. It's the actions we take. And one of the first actions you can take is putting it into your own words, because then you're taking what I'm saying and you're giving it its own meaning in your life, and then you can start living in accordance to that. With that being said, what I encourage you to do is not only share what your moral of the story is, but then share an action you're going to take. What is one thing that you can do? What is one thing you're committed to doing right away that you're going to integrate what you've learned today? That's how we start to create change, and that's how lasting change happens. All right? I see a few other people logging in. Anna from Tenerife, Spain. Hello, Anna. Simona from Italy. Hello, Simona. There's a great group we have going. We have friends from all over the world, so let's get started with this. Today's moral of the story. I think I covered everything, right? Yeah. Okay. Today's moral of the story. Once upon a time. Actually, this isn't really a once upon a time story, because this is happening all the time. But I'll use once upon a time just because I like once upon a time. This is actually what's the word? Nonfiction. Which, why do they always call nonfiction? That's the truth. It just seems like you'd have fiction be the truth and nonfiction be, well, I guess it's saying nonfiction, so it's not fictitious. Okay, never mind. I'm getting off the tangent. Focus, Jesse. When it has been studied that when a baby giraffe is born, it undergoes quite the rigorous birthing process. So a mother giraffe incubates the baby for a number of weeks or months. Please forgive me, I can't remember off the top of my head what that exact duration is. And when it comes time for the birth, now keep in mind, giraffes are tall, right? I mean, I'm 6'3" and change, and a giraffe towers over me. So giraffes are tall. And that's just not their neck. Have you ever seen a giraffe, right? From the legs to the body is a good size height, probably more than double my height. And when it's time for the mother to give birth to the baby, what happens is the mother takes position and the baby basically falls out. So the baby's first experience into the world is literally a 10-foot fall from the mother's womb. And when the baby first lands on the ground, it moves its neck and then starts to curl up into the fetal position, so to speak, kind of blinking away the fluids and all the stuff that comes out during the birthing process, and trying to orient its senses. Any of you who have ever woken up suddenly or been startled awake from a nap know how hard it is to orient yourself right away. Show of hands. And imagine that your first experience into the world, if you could remember what it was like for you, having that kind of sensation, right, where you went from this place that you'd been so familiar with to all of a sudden you have this world and all the stimulation and noise and whatnot around you. And while the baby giraffe is trying to blink away all this stuff and allow its senses to catch up to it and orient itself to what's going on, the mother does something rather remarkable. And from the outsider's perspective looking in, it might seem almost cruel. The mother giraffe moves its head out of the way and immediately kicks the baby. And the baby will typically flop over, and the mother's kicking the baby to try to get it to stand up. So as the baby is trying to orient itself, trying to figure out where it is, what's going on, trying to figure out what the heck just happened, because one minute it was inside this dark place and now it's outside and there's these bright colors and there's all these noises. And then the mom's kicking the baby. So the baby struggles and it's trying to get up, and then the mom kicks it again. I see some emoji faces going by. Yeah, that's what I thought too. So the baby's struggling, trying to get up, and the mom kicks it again. You know, the baby's flopping around, and maybe at this point it starts to get its legs almost underneath it, but then the mom kicks it again. The baby's exhausted at this point. Keep in mind, it just went through the whole birthing process. It's tired, it's worn out. But now here's the mom kicking it, trying to get it to its feet. So the mom and the baby continue this process until finally finally the baby's able to come to its feet, on very wobbly legs, very tentative, very wobbly legs. The baby pulls itself to its feet for its first time. And for the first time, the baby's able to fully stretch out on its full frame, however big that is for a baby giraffe. And then the mom does something really remarkable. She kicks the baby again and knocks it down. She kicks the baby again and knocks it down. Now, why is this? Well, it's theorized by people who study giraffes that a baby giraffe, or all giraffes, but babies especially, they need to be able to get up instantly. They need to be able to get up from a lying position or any position they're in instantly right away, because predators will get them otherwise. If they struggle to their feet, they're going to get attacked, maybe maimed or killed by hyenas, lions, cheetahs, whatever else other predators are out there for giraffes. And for on the outsider, what might seem like a very cruel and unusual act, to a giraffe, it might be one of the most beautiful evolutionary gifts there is. Right? Because in essence, what the mother's doing is teaching the baby how to survive, teaching the baby what survival is. So the moral of the story, what do you take away from this story? What is your takeaway from this story? And remember, first of all, please share, because that helps make it more real. It helps take it from just something you're conceptualizing to something you can put into place. And what action are you going to do? What action are you going to take away from this? What action are you going to put into place from what you've learned today to help advance your life, to help make your life better? What's the moral of the story that you're taking away today? I have a few minutes, so I'd love for you to share if you're open to sharing. I see a couple little lone hearts and thumbs ups trickling along. I hope that wasn't too traumatic. And I hope it got you to think, especially those of you who went, that emoji, I hope it got you to think. What's the moral of the story? Moral of the story. Oops, I'm going to just tilt Periscope down a tad bit here so I can see. Moral of the story is, no matter how many times you get kicked down, always get back up. Fall 7 times, stand up 8. Yeah, I like that. I love that. Great moral of the story. Good takeaway. Anybody else want to share their morals of the story that they're taking away today? In Periscope, I apologize for the angle we got going on here. I know it's not the best looking directly up towards my nostrils. I appreciate you sticking with me on there. I don't have the best angle set up here today. The moral of the story is, no matter how many times you get knocked down, to never give up and get up again. Nothing will keep the good ones down for long. That's how somebody said the same thing. Sorry, completely missed it on the bus and signal went out. You'll have to rewatch it. It's worth rewatching, I think. It's a good one. It's good. We got some. So again, those of you who are sharing your morals of the story, those of you who are taking something away from this, what is the action that you're going to take to integrate this? What is the action you're going to take to integrate this? That's what's really important. It won't load. Is that your moral of the story, or is that just a general comment? And as a reminder, moral of the story is to keep getting back up and learn to continue to be standing up and moving forward. It's a good one. To keep getting back up and learn to continue to be standing up.